Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's Tuesday night, and that means XCAL is on the agenda for tonight. We've got an exciting one. Looking at the heats for this week, it's going to be a close one. We had one heat race finish. The finishing gap was .000, a photo finish. All three heats finished in less than a quarter of a second from first to second place. Most of them closer than that. This is going to be non-stop, nose to tail, side by side, and just non-stop battling around this track. Lap traffic's going to be an issue. Everything's going to play a factor here tonight. Strategy is going to be huge. A lot of excitement going on in the garage tonight, as well as you see Noah Carpenter getting his practice done. We've got some pre-race interviews in a moment, but some big news. Derek Colson, his 82nd career start in XCAL. He is the XCAL Ironman. Art Hendren's 55th. Robert Colgan, this is a big one, his 50th start. Matt Pelletier is back for the first time tonight as well. His first start of 2023, and Jose Gaudino makes his 33rd consecutive start. Expecting some great things out here tonight. Good evening, JR. Good evening, Russell. How is everybody doing tonight? Before we get started, don't forget to drop into the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. Don't forget to hit like and follow, and most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family. There's still some room in the stands. Matt Pelletier back out on track tonight for the first time this year in the 2020 or in the 11 car. And Austin Edwards, another pole tonight as well. Let's get started with some interviews. First, starting off with Joe Campbell. Hey, Joe, it's Doug. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling out here tonight, man?
Well, I don't know. I'm not feeling very good. I'm not really liking the track, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna give it our best and see what happens.
I know after the last couple of weeks, you've had some issues both with Austin Edwards and Danny Mann.
Yeah, you know, Danny Mann, that kid needs to go like to racing school somewhere. He has no idea what he's doing on track. He's just a little punk out here wrecking me every race. It's getting old, it really is, you know, and his car owner might have to pay for it at some point here because Joe's getting fed up again. Joe's getting back to where he was last year. And yeah, Austin Edwards, well, he probably brought back a little bit of the rivalry. He had no reason to dump me last week. I was moving single file with Danny Mann to let Austin get by us, and he just drove through me. So he's just going to want to be careful where his car's at tonight, probably.
Well, man, I know that rivalry was big for several races last year, but finally got it settled down after a peace treaty. Hopefully things calm down. And Joe, I got to say, your whole team has been running a lot faster this year as a whole. I mean, you guys were fast last year, but the improvement again this year has been dramatic.
Yeah, well, we owe a lot of that to our setup guy. You know, Zach Edwards, he's really good at what he does. He usually gives us a car that's it's going to be there. It's going to be in contention. You know, it's all up to us as the driver. You know, if we keep the car clean and keep it going forward, we got an opportunity to be up there. You know, it just sometimes it doesn't play out right, but we're working on it. We're trying hard.
Well, man, good luck. You've had a great season so far. Hopefully you can keep that car clean and get to victory lane tonight.
Thank you, buddy. Also, just like to throw out there, you know, everybody check out the web shop, XCAL Racing web shop. You know, they put on this show every week. And big thanks to Butt Kicker coming on, sponsoring the team championship points. That's a big one that we just found out about. So pretty happy about that as well.
Awesome, man. Good luck tonight, Joe.
Thanks, Doug.
Joe Campbell obviously starting to see that frustration build as the season goes on. Speaking of frustration, I don't think one driver is going to have any tonight. I think Robert Colgan is headed toward victory lane. And Robert, I was just talking about, I think you're ready to go to victory lane. You called it last week in the middle of the race at Long Beach.
Well, you see, Long Beach was a little long, and you guys made me have a few too many. But you know what? I'm still backing it up. I won the heat race. Actually, my first XCAL heat race win. And, I've done pretty good this week, so we have a good fast piece.
Man, it's always great having you up in the booth, but I am looking forward to seeing this. I know these tracks, especially the flatter the track, it seems like that's where you seem to excel at.
Yeah, I mean, some of these young kids, if they don't, I'm a lot older, I'm twice as their age, and there's some guys older than me out there, so what they don't get is, I used to be pretty fast back in my day, but I've been watching a lot, and these kids need taught a lesson on driver etiquette. They're just cocky, arrogant. They take my kindness for weakness, and I'm done with it. You got someone like everyone loving Parker Retzlaff. He's in Xfinity. Dude says about how the majority of the field at Auto Club, I guess, is inexperienced, almost like a jab at XCAL and the majority of the field. There's a lot of talented drivers in XCAL, actually, with quite a bit of experience, but Parma came back and got him because he wrecked himself in turn 1 at Long Beach, so he must be pretty inexperienced, too.
Well, man, great to talk to you, and I am rooting for you here tonight. I know it's been a while, and glad to see you got that heat win. Hopefully you can back it up here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks for Fastlane Motorsports. Also, check out the XCAL web shop. Thank you. It helps keep the web series going. And, we'll go out here and try to get something done. We'll have a couple Busch lattes here tonight.
Enjoy those lattes, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Colgan, looking forward to hopefully getting to victory lane. A lot of cheers for Fastlane Motorsports here tonight, and I have to say the Ryan Seams fan club is showing up. Don't forget to check out the Ryan Seams fan club t-shirt on the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com/shop. You can get all your XCAL Racing gear there. This is going to get fun. Now it's time to get one more driver in here. And he continues to call out a pro driver. Let's see what he has to say to Ty Majeski tonight. Hey, Matt, has Ty responded to you yet? Hey, Matt, you got me? Well, it looks like the Mad Bear may have stepped away for a moment.
You got me?
Oh, there you are, buddy. So, first question, have you heard from Ty Majeski yet?
Nah, man, he's been running away from me. He's down there running those little late models down there and finishing third to them, so.
So if he shows up here, are you expecting him to finish third to you as well?
I expect everybody to finish second or third to me.
You've had some great races here lately. Can you get the win here tonight at Phoenix?
Who knows, man? It's a long race. A little bit of fuel saving involved, not much. But, I think we got a good car. We just got to conserve tire, conserve the right front right here. The right rear hasn't been that big of an issue here this week in practice, but burning off the right front will definitely hurt you getting into 3, so it'll be pretty tough to stay as fast as we need to go and try to save that right front as much as possible for the end of the run.
I have to say, you're talking about the right front, and the right rear hasn't been a big issue, but watching practice, I have seen a couple of guys really get loose off of turn 4, which this track is noted for.
Yeah, definitely. There's a fine line from being aggressive and being over-aggressive here, especially coming out of 3 and 4 whenever you've got no banking there to help you get out of the corner. So, I mean, if you get on throttle too early or before you need to, it will kick out from under you, and then you've got a 5-step process of saving the car and hoping you don't get ran over in the process. So.
Well, man, good luck tonight. Hopefully Ty Majeski is out there watching. If anybody knows him, tell him Matt is still calling him out. Good luck tonight, Matt.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
The Mad Bear still calling out Ty Majeski. Could we see Ty later this season in XCAL competition? Boy, wouldn't that be something? Currently, fastest on track is Jonathan Bronson as practice winds down. Just a few seconds left to go. Enough time to run to the snack bar, get some food, get your drink while you're standing in line. Make sure you hit that share button. Invite your friends and family to come and drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. In honor of Robert Colgan, what are you drinking tonight? Colgan did say he was going to be drinking some Busch lattes, so yeah. We'll see how he is about halfway through this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. Austin Edwards gets another pole. He starts up front with Chase Johnson. Robert Colgan and Kendrick Cryer are on the second row. Zach Edwards, Matt Pelletier in his first start this season on the third row. Crapser and Brent Meckes on the fourth. Stephen Rex, Jonathan Bronson rounding out the top 10. Kyle Bartles and Jim Johnson 11th and 12th. Noah Carpenter in 13th. The Mad Bear starts in 14th. John Friley in 15th. Joe Campbell in 16th. Flying Ryan Seams starts in 17th. Jeremy Gillett in 18th. Sean Andrews starts 19th. Derek Colson in 20th. Jose Gaudino starting in 21st. Gerald Thanos Poole starting in 22nd. Albie Hewen starting in 23rd. John Brancaccio in 24th. Daniel Miller in 25th, and Art Hendren rounds out the 26-car field here tonight. Did hear in pre-race, there are a few drivers missing here tonight. Hey, good evening, Dean. Jeremy Long cheering on Kendrick Cryer. Jeff's drinking coffee. Jeff, I was drinking coffee on the way home from work to come do this. How you doing tonight, Dean? Hope everybody is feeling great, ready for 300 laps around Phoenix. This is the correct version of Phoenix. The legacy, the original, the right way this track is supposed to be run without the stupid backstretch shortcut. And the start-finish line is in the right place. Everybody coming out of turn 4. Pace car drops in. They look to the flag stand. Aaron Hillebush has the green in the air. And here we go. We're underway at Phoenix. Austin Edwards starts up front yet again. There was the question last week, could Austin Edwards be the GOAT of XCAL here? A lot of side-by-side action, but a lot of the field getting single file, 300 laps around this 1 mile track. They have got to make sure the car lasts. Turn 4 on cold tires will get interesting quickly. Kendrick Cryer now to third. Matt Pelletier, his first race of the season, currently sitting in fourth, already making his way forward. Robert Colgan If you were watching Long Beach last week, you know he called his shot. He said tonight is his night. He'll be in victory lane. That car powered by Busch Latte. Zach Edwards currently sitting in 6th. Kendrick Cryer sets the fast lap in the early going here. Tire wear is going to be an issue tonight. Right front tires will go away quickly. But really, that right rear, you've got to be so careful and ease onto the gas out of turn 4. You heard a couple of the drivers in the pre-race interviews talking about these rookies, these younger kids that may not have the same amount of patience. They could have problems late in this one. Big note, Parker Retzlaff did not make it home in time tonight to start the race. JR, I believe so. Flying Ryan Seams currently in 7th. Jeremy Gilliott is the only Gilliott in the field tonight. A bit odd to only see one member of that family out here. Currently in 16th. You have to wonder if Scott or his brother are up in the spotter stand helping him out here tonight. Daniel Miller already up 4 spots now into 21st. The Mad Bear already making his move to the front as well, up 2 spots into 12th. Everybody begins to settle in and go single file here in the early going. Chase Johnson now to 2nd, Kendrick Cryer in 3rd, Pelletier 4th, Robert Colgan in 5th. Zach Edwards, Alex Krapser, Jonathan Bronson, Brent Backus, and Steven Rex rounding out your top 10. Jim Johnson has made his way up into 11th with Matt Bear on the bumper. If you're watching Jones BS Racing last night, you'll know that Highline, if you have the setup for it, can make some moves, especially later in this race when they start putting some rubber down up there. Jim Johnson a little high through 3 and 4. Matt Bear's going to look. Can't get there yet. Joe Campbell already up 2 spots into 14th. This 14-car lead pack starting to open up a gap on 15th place. Kyle Bartles. You heard Joe in pre-race starting to feel some of that frustration he had last season. Hoping to come away with some more wins here this season. Most of the field currently single file. A bit of a surprise. Nobody's trying to make any moves, but this field will stretch out very, very quickly here. Lap traffic will become an issue quickly. Austin Edwards at the front running 31-second laps. Meanwhile, last place Art Hendren already 10 seconds behind the leader. Looking at 40 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel. Some drivers have said they might be able to stretch it to 60. We could have a very big fuel window here, which definitely plays into late race strategy. Pit stops here have been known to cause some chaos in the past, and look like Colgan almost got the wall and opened the door for Jonathan Bronson. Brent Mack is currently in 9th, Steven Rex in 10th, Jeremy Gilliott starting to move forward. Gilliott now up to 15th, Flying Ryan right behind him in 16th. Daniel Miller, so far the biggest mover of the night, currently in 20th spot. up 5 spots from where he started. And it is worth knowing, while this field will stretch out throughout this race, as we mentioned in pre-race, the heat races, the biggest gap between first and second in any heat race was a quarter of a second. We had Ryan Seams got a little bit of the wall. Lost a little momentum. He's going to lose a couple spots before he can get back down. The second heat race came down to a finish of .000. It was a photo finish. So there's going to be a lot of close racing. Looks like everybody is just settling in for the moment, content to ride around, see if they can do anything strategy-wise, save the car, save a little fuel. Jeremy Gilliott leading this second pack with Kyle Bartles, Derek Colson. Ryan Seams dropped back in 18th, Sean Andrews in 19th. Meanwhile, Daniel Miller is closing in on this second group quickly. Austin Edwards has been making his way up the points. Parker Retzlaff led the points early. Austin now in the points lead. Tonight he'll extend that. Retzlaff not in the field tonight. Other obligations related to his Real World Xfinity team. You gotta wonder where that young man's priorities are. Stephen Rex currently sits in 10th. A good start to the night for him. Jim Johnson 11th. The Mad Bear in 12th. The lead pack starting to see some daylight between some of these cars right now. And what about Matt Pelletier, already up into 4th, his first start of the season. A guy who was in contention in a lot of races last season. Surprising to see him here, only starting here in our 10th race of the season. Robert Colgan has lost a couple of spots now, back in 6th place, but keep an eye on that car. Art Hendren is on pit road. Art has been having a lot better races as of late, but not a great start to this one. But we'll also want to keep a close eye on Austin and if him and Joe Campbell get close together here tonight. As obviously some drama last week at Long Beach. You guys are not getting enough excitement out there, so drop into the comments right now. Tell us what you are drinking tonight while you're watching XCAL. And if we get enough comments, we'll do something really fun. We'll give it a try. Looking back through the field, Joe Campbell up 2 spots. Ryan Seams, after getting the wall earlier, going back, he started to move forward again, back up into 17th. Daniel Miller currently runs in 20th, right behind Jeremy Gilliott. Albie Hewins has another great start to this one as well, currently running in 21st. John Friley in 22nd, Jose Gaudino in 23rd tonight. The driver out of Portugal has had a little bit better season this season. Just looking for some more top 15 finishes. Flaming Karma came out of the gate extremely strong. Has stumbled a couple of times recently, but look for them to make a comeback. Speaking of Flaming Karma, the leader of Flaming Karma, Gerald Thanos Poole, had early trouble at Lanier. His goal just to build a competitive team this season, and hey, look at that. He is driving the Scarlet Revolt car here tonight. If you heard the pre-race music this week, that is Scarlet Revolt's song Bleed, and you definitely want to check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Huge shout out to them for allowing us to use the music as well. Austin Edwards, Chase Johnson, a little bit of a breakaway on Kendrick Pryor and Matt Pelletier here early. Not a big gap yet. And I don't expect Austin Edwards to walk away with this race like he did last week at Long Beach. Jonathan Bronson up into 8th place, up 2 spots. Ryan Seams now up into 16th, starting to make his way back forward. Sean Andrews right there with him, currently in 17th place, up 2 spots. Starting to see as the tires wear and the fuel burns off. Starting to see some cars make some moves here. Now this is the legacy version, so the correct version of Phoenix, no stupid back straightaway cut-throughs, shortcuts, but conversely, no lights, so this one will be under the sun for the entire race. Jonathan Bronson right on Alex Krapser's bumper. He's looked to the high side a couple of times. Hasn't made the move yet. Looks like Jim Johnson is starting to look for a move on Steven Rex. Robert Colgan trying to make his way back into 5th underneath Matt Pelletier. Pelletier gets the better run off 2 and clears him. Albie Hewen starting to make some moves here later in the run. He is now up into 19th, has cracked into the top 20. Looks like Sean Andrews may be having some problems here on the long run, though. He is starting to fade. Daniel Miller was making moves early on in the run, but it looks like the long run on that car is not where he wants it to be yet. So that first pit stop, expect some big changes to that car. Starting to see more use of the track, more different lines being tried out here. Noah Carpenter tried to set up a move on the Mad Bear going into turn 1, couldn't get position yet. Tammy Seams, Tanya Gleason cheering on Flying Ryan Seams as he comes back to life. Flying Ryan right on the back bumper of Kyle Bartles. And don't forget, they now have the Flying Ryan Seams Fan Club t-shirt in the XCAL web shop. The XCAL web shop is a huge, huge part of making XCAL happen. The money raised there goes right back into the driver's pockets in the form of the purses here. So definitely go buy your Flying Ryan t-shirts, J&S Racing gear, and everything else that's out there. Including the XCAL Racing mouse pad, which I really need one of those at work. Chase Johnson making a move for the lead here. Austin Edwards moves up just a little bit, still fighting on the high side, carries the momentum off of 2. It's a drag race to turn 3. Oh, Chase, a little bobble in turn 3. We talked about it earlier. Turn 4 at this version of Phoenix is definitely a tricky place to be. You have to ease onto the gas or you'll spin the tires, send it around, and man, as close as they're racing here tonight, things could go bad very, very quickly. Good evening to Danny Sargent dropping in here. William Mann, the Man Slammer, also watching with Kevin Reed, and a guy that goes by Larry Ashby, but we happen to know a little bit differently. Kendrick Cryer in third, Pelletier still holds on to 4, Colgan still in the top 5. Chase Johnson now securely in the lead for the first time tonight, getting himself some bonus points here. Austin Edwards did take the points lead after Long Beach last week. Parker Retzlaff actually drifted back to 3rd in points. Austin with 3 wins so far this season. Starting to hear the whine of the tires just a little bit out here as we get closer and closer to that first run of pit stops. We should start seeing pit stops around lap 45. I did hear a few drivers talking about playing some strategy. They expect to have about 5 pit stops here for the majority of the field. But can somebody like Austin Edwards stretch their fuel and make it a 4-stop race? The most I've heard out of anybody is 60 laps on a tank. It would take a bit more than that, though, to make it the distance here. And this is not an easy track to save fuel at. Joe Campbell still at 2 spots into 14th. Flying Ryan Seams in 16th now. Kyle Bartle still in the middle there. Jeremy Gilliott now in 17th. And Albie Hewins continuing his march toward the front. Albie now at 5 spots into 18th. Daniel Miller made it up to 19th earlier in the race, but has dropped back to 21st. Looks like that car definitely not set up for the long run here. Gerald Thanos Poole sitting back in 25th. Art Hendren still on pit road, but not officially out of the race yet. Chase Johnson continuing to lead him around. Oh, starting to see some drivers get loose out of turn 2 here. And Danny out cheering on the J&S Flying Aces here tonight. Flying Aces short a driver as Parker Retzlaff not in the field. Pryor, a big bobble out of turn 4. Pelletier gets right to his bumper. Alex Crapser in 7th. Jonathan Bronson now in 8th. Brett Meckes up to 9th. Stephen Rex currently running in 10th as Jim Johnson now right on the back bumper. The Mad Bear currently sitting in 12th place, still calling out Ty Majeski. Noah Carpenter sitting in 13th, Joe Campbell in 14th, Bartles in 15th. Car starting to slide just a little bit more off of turn 4 as we enter the window for the first round of green flag stops. And stops here could get a bit interesting. You see the pit road exit as they came off turn 2, comes right up onto the track. They don't have enough time to get up to speed, so some of these guys will be trying to work their way to the bottom to get on pit road as guys come off pit road onto the bottom of the track. Danny, I had heard Parker couldn't make it tonight, and I have to say, that kid's got to get his priorities straight. Watching to see who will be the first to pit road. Surprised we haven't seen anybody in the back half of the field try and short pit here. Tire fall off, not as big of an issue as we expected here tonight though. Chase Johnson's fastest lap at 31.5, last time by 31.9. A lot of these guys appear to have the car set up for the long run and to compensate for the tire wear here. Oh, got a little bit of a blink going on from Zach Edwards right behind Robert Colgan. Zach currently in 6th. JR, that would be me. All right, Chase Johnson continues to lead. We're going to take our first commercial break of the night. Check out the new ad from Butt Kicker as they have come back on as a sponsor for the remainder of the season. Don't go anywhere. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Welcome back. Pit stops well and truly underway as over half the field has been in. In fact, 4 drivers, it looks like, have not been to pit road yet. Jose Godino in 7th, then Matt Bear, Austin Edwards, and Noah Carpenter. Austin back in the lead as Chase Johnson was one of the first to pit road here. Looks like everybody started going to pit road around lap 48. The vast majority hit on lap 50. Austin Edwards out front has got most of the field lapped. Jose Godino has now gone to pit road. Next week, for the first time ever, XCAL goes to Kansas Speedway to the Roval. They're going right and left again next week as our leader comes to pit road. Noah Carpenter is in. Matt Bear and Jose Godino are in, and Alex Krapser trying to get by and take the lead here. Nobody able to stretch much beyond about lap 56, at least in this first round of stops. Krapser has a 1.6 second lead over Chase Johnson. Chase gave up the lead when he came to pit road. Zach Edwards now sits back behind them. Brent Mekas and Jonathan Bronson, they're just waiting on the top 3. Matt Bear is rolling off. Matt Bear is off. It looks like Austin's about to be rolling, but Krapser manages to get by the Matt Bear. And Jonathan Bronson just set the fastest lap of the race so far. But there you see some of the problem here at Phoenix. Bronson came very close to getting into Matt Bear. Noah Carpenter is rolling off. Austin Edwards is rolling off. It's going to be a drag race. Who gets up to speed first? Can Austin hold the lead? No, he cannot. Krapser goes by. And Alex Krapser is going to lead a lap for the first time tonight. That's going to move Austin Edwards back to second. Chase Johnson to third. Zach Edwards in fourth. Brent Mekas now up into fifth. Did see some cheers from Carol, for Brent Mekas here tonight. Bronson getting by Mekas, moves up into fifth. Mekas now at sixth. Noah Carpenter now to seventh. The Mad Bear currently runs in eighth. Kendrick Cryer in ninth. Robert Colgan still holding on to the top 10. Matt Pelletier in his first race back, currently running in 14th. Flying Ryan Seams up to 15th. Joe Campbell in 16th. Joe's coming by. Seems at the moment, but it is Albie Hewins is the biggest mover so far tonight, up 6 spots into 17th. Until I said that, and Jonathan Bronson moved up into 4th. Now he's up 6 spots. Krapser also up 6 spots. Daniel Miller is starting to make his way forward again as well, back up into 20th. After that first round of green flag pit stops, John Friley at the tail end of the field now in 25th place. Just 5 seconds or so ahead of the leader. And Austin Edwards just laid down a fast lap as he tries to run down Crapser and reclaim the lead here tonight. And McKinley is out cheering on Uncle Ryan, Flying Ryan Seams. Flying Ryan currently in 6th, and Albie Hewen starting to close in on the group ahead. He's going to bring Sean Andrews with him. Meanwhile, Austin Edwards has caught up to the back bumper of Alex Crapser. Austin has now set the fastest lap 3 laps in a row to catch up to Crapser. Mark Dantuma out here cheering on Thanos. Thanos currently running in 24th. Flat track's definitely not the kind of place that Thanos has always struggled, but has continued to improve at them. Chase Johnson back to 3rd now. Bronson in 4th. Zach Edwards in 5th. Flying Ryan trying to reel in Joe Campbell and Matt Pelletier. Kyle Bartles currently sitting in 13th. Stephen Rex in 12th. Jim Johnson in 11th. Albie Hewen still trying to reel in Ryan Seams, Ryan about 5 seconds ahead in 16th. That is actually the biggest gap, one of the biggest gaps on track right now. Worth reminding you once again that Robert Colgan in the 94. If you watched Long Beach last week, he kept threatening to race, said if he came to Phoenix, he would win here tonight. Looks like he is going to try and get it done. Currently running in 10th, but Jim Johnson's starting to look low. And you can tell the track is starting to get rubbered in, up on the higher line now. As clouds come over the track, it'll cool it down. Might see some faster laps here in a minute. Top 4 starting to break away again from Zach Edwards, currently in 5th. Brent Mekas having a great run here tonight. Currently sits in 6th. Brent Mekas' new team, he has seen a lot of improvement with them this season. Brent already having 2 top 10s this season, a much better start. McKinley still cheering on Uncle Rai, hoping Ryan Seams will finally get to victory lane this season. Ryan has had a great season so far. Sitting just inside the top 15 in points at the moment. I think McKinley needs a Ryan Seams fan club t-shirt from the XCAL web shop. Leader's about to be into lap traffic here. As Alex Crapser is beginning to reel in John Friley and Gerald Thanos Poole. And since Crapser has such a great view right now, let's see how it looks from the camera on the nose of that car. As they go across the start-finish line down into turn 1. You hear him ease out of the throttle, ease back into it. Down the back straightaway through the kink, you'll notice a little bit of a bump there. Down toward turn 3. You can see just how bumpy, cracked, and a little worn out this track is. Does make it a little bit harder to find grip out here. Crapser did that lap of 31.87 as he reels in Friley. Austin Edwards for the moment content to ride in second. Jonathan Bronson has fought his way up now into third place. Noah Carpenter has fought his way up 6 spots into 7th. The Mad Bear has broke into the top 10th in 8th. Jim Johnson has also cracked into the top 10 in 10th place. Albie Hewins continuing to work his way forward, currently runs in 17th, up 6 spots. Daniel Miller still holds on to 20th. The leaders come by Friley, now set their sights on Thanos. Little bit of battling going on back here in the top 10. Kendrick Cryer all over the back bumper of the Mad Bear. A lot of sliding. Kendrick Cryer, a little slide through the middle of 3 and 4 that time. As the leaders come by, Thanos goes ahead and gives it up. Thanos right up by the wall, giving up a lot of ground here. Zach Edwards looks like his connection problems have settled down for the moment. Sets his sights on Chase Johnson. Meanwhile, Brent Meckes currently sits in 6th place. Noah Carpenter in 7th, Matt Barron 8th, Kendrick Cryer in 9th, Jim Johnson in 10th. Robert Colgan, who said he would win tonight, currently running in 11th. Stephen Rex holding on to 12th. Much better season for him. Matt Pelletier in his return to XCAL competition currently sits in 13th. Joe Campbell now up to 14th. Kyle Bartles in 15th. Flying Ryan in 16th. Albie Hewins currently in 17th with Sean Andrews in 18th. The lone Gilliatt in the field currently runs in 20th. Jeremy, the only one coming out tonight. Derek Colson currently running in 19th. Jonathan Bronson has had a good march up from 10th place to now be riding in 3rd. Not a lot of battling going on here in the top 10. Jim Johnson in 10th, about 1.5 seconds behind Kendrick Cryer, trying to reel Kendrick back in. We've seen Kendrick take a look on the Mad Bear a couple times, but has not made a move yet. Jim Johnson comes up alongside Thanos. Robert Colgan right behind him and Stephen Rex. Matt Pelletier leads the 3rd group of Joe Campbell, Kyle Bartles, and Ryan Seams. The top 10 currently just turning laps. Not a lot of battling going on. They're almost a third of the way through this one. Some of the drivers look like they are trying to save some fuel here in the early going. We saw a few drivers stretch to lap 56. That was the furthest we saw anybody go. Looks like it will be a 5-stop race. This may come down to who can stop last and has the fastest stop. But we have not seen a caution flag yet tonight at Phoenix. Awfully quiet in the stands tonight. A lot of cheers from the Ryan Seams fan club, but not a lot of cheers for the rest of the field. Drop in the comments. Tell us who you're watching. Tell us what you're drinking while you're watching the XCAL race. Brent Meck is currently sitting in 6th. Noah Carpenter in 7th. Noah Carpenter, one of the members of the J&S Flying Aces, has had a great start to this season with a 2nd place at 5 Flags, 3rd at Lanier, 1 Irwindale, and 3rd at Long Beach. Currently sits 3rd in points. And my understanding is he has not had to do the dishes because of these great finishes so far this season. However, we haven't had his dad confirm that, so we'll wait to hear back. J&S Flying Aces definitely has a really strong team out here with having the points lead for the first 8 races of the season. But with Parker Retzlaff not here tonight, they will lose a little bit of ground. Zach Edwards, another member of the Flying Aces. His biggest problem all season long has been connection difficulties as Chase Johnson looks underneath Bronson, goes to third. Bronson not putting up much of a fight here. Chase was leading prior to green flag stops. Could he make a comeback? Jason Seams, good luck with your drive. I hope you have a safe drive and hope you get a clean bill of health at the with your testing this week. Flying Ryan Curley sitting at 16th is caught back up. He was starting to lose a little bit of ground to Kyle Bartles, but has caught back up. And it looks like Art Hendren is officially out of the race. Art went to pit road on lap 17. Derek Colson is on pit road. Didn't see any issues with Colson. Looks like this might be a short pit strategy. Starting to see as the race goes on and the run continues, the field is starting to use all of the track here. Multiple different lines all over. Alex Crapser goes to the bottom. Chase Johnson shoots it up underneath Austin Edwards. Chase is going 2 for 1 here. Chase on the bottom battling for the lead as they come out of 4. Crapser holds him off for the moment. Crapser, another member of the Flying Aces, sitting up front, but Chase Johnson is going to give him a run for his money. Worth noting, Chase Johnson has had back-to-back wins in the Monday Night Dash Series. And after Auto Club, Chase Johnson was calling out the Mad Bear, calling him a baby. Could be a bit of a rivalry there if Matt can get to him. Could we see fireworks from those two tonight? Starting to get some battling up front now as Bronson looked like he was going to try and make a move on the high side. As I mentioned, the Jones BS Racing League was here last night, and we saw the winner in the tour mods make most of his passes on the high side. If you set your car up for it, you are unstoppable. Austin Edwards content to ride behind Chase, hoping when Chase clears he can use the open door. We're starting to see pit stops as John Brancaccio and Jose Godino are in. Second round of green flag stops are underway at Phoenix. We'll step away for our second commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll go side by side. And we're back as Austin Edwards has reclaimed the lead under green flag stops. Bronson in second, Zach Edwards in third, Noah Carpenter fourth, the Mad Bear now up to fifth. And a lot of the field on pit road or has just completed stops. Green flag so far for the first third of the race. Jason, good luck tomorrow, buddy, and I hope you get a clean test tomorrow. Everybody say a little prayer for Jason. Seems 1 year clean of cancer today. Jonathan Bronson running in second, right on Austin Edwards' tail as we have drivers coming off pit road as the leaders go into the kink. John Friley and Joe Campbell on their way out. Kendrick Cryer is in. Stephen Rex is in. Don't forget, oh, we've got a car around. It's Noah Carpenter, but he saves it. Wow. Let's see if we can get another look at what happened with Noah Carpenter coming out of turn 2. Oh, no, the 84 is there. He didn't have enough room to run up the track. The car gets completely sideways, but he pulls it back in. Only losing one position to Matt Bear, and what a save by Noah Carpenter. Now you're, Jason, now you're just trying to make me jealous. Matt Bear now up into second place. Noah Carpenter in third. Trying to stretch the fuel mileage here. We know Austin Edwards, all three of these drivers, Matt Bear stopped on lap 55. Noah and Austin on lap 56. They should be good for another 4 to 5 laps here. Mark, it was pretty close, but very well could have been a little bit of netcode there with Noah. And we have to ask Mark, he's done so good this season, had so many top fives, and so many great finishes. How many times has Noah had to do the dishes? 8 starts, 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 6 top 10s. Noah Carpenter is having a great season. Albie Hewins trying like crazy to hold on to the lead lap. Currently in 19th, and he opens the door for Matt Bear to come under Austin Edwards. Matt Bear is going to the lead for the first time here tonight. Five bonus points for the Matt Bear getting to lead a lap here. Top 3 still need to come to pit road. Trying to look a little closer at Noah Carpenter's car and see, I don't believe he got any damage to it. The shadows made it look like he might have had a little spoiler damage. No, the car looks fine. The Mad Bear, after leading a lap, has come to pit road. Austin Edwards looking low. Is he coming in? No, he is not. Oh, Albie gets the wall out of 4. Noah Carpenter now on pit road. Did Austin miss pit road exit, or did he save enough fuel to go another lap or 2? Well, Jason, we look forward to having you back next Tuesday, buddy, and wish you the best, and looking forward to your update. Matt Bear is on his way off pit road now. Noah Carpenter still in pit road. Austin Edwards still has not come down. He let Albie Hewins back by, putting Albie back a lap back up, and here comes the leader. Noah Carpenter, sitting on pit road, still has a chance to take the lead back here. The Chase Johnson is going to slip by. Noah Carpenter is on his way off pit road. Now can Austin Edwards' crew get him in and out quickly enough to keep him in the lead? Mark, you know I'm having some stickers made up. I may take you up on that one, buddy. Austin Edwards, the last driver to come to pit road. Waiting to see if he can get off pit road in time to keep the lead. He cannot. Austin is on his way out, but he loses a lot of track position on pit road. His stop not that much longer than everybody else, but he drops back to 11th. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson has reclaimed the lead. And don't forget, for the first time ever, next Tuesday, XCAL goes to the Kansas Roval. Oh boy, that one's going to be a bit interesting. Actually, that's going to be a lot interesting. Saw some great racing last week at Long Beach on the road course, but this one, it's a lot smaller road course. Ought to make things very exciting. As they settle in, we'll take a look from the XCAL blimp. You see the 1 mile track at Phoenix, the road course on the infield there as well. And the field a little bit spread out at the moment, but don't forget, the heat races, the second heat race was a photo finish. All of them finished in the top two were within a quarter of a second or less. There were some close finishes, and this battle ain't over yet. What a great view of the track, the correct version of the track without the cut-through shortcut thing on the backstretch. Hey, that's even better. Jason Seams saying if he gets a clean bill of health, he's going to buy a Flying Ryan Seams t-shirt from the web shop. Zach Edwards starting to make some moves here, but Bronson trying to get up into third. They touch in the middle of three. Wow, they were leaning on each other going into turn three, and now it's opening the door for Kendrick Cryer. Kendrick giving Bronson a push down the front stretch. The Mad Bear sits back in sixth place. Zach starting to blink just a little bit again. Jim Johnson now up into seventh. Brent Meckes in eighth. Stephen Ricks in ninth. Robert Colgan in 10th. Pole sitter Austin Edwards back in 11th. The furthest he has been back all night long. Noah Carpenter currently running in 12th. Matt Pelletier in 13th. Joe Campbell in 14th. Flying Ryan Seams now up into 15th. Kyle Bartle sits in 16th. Jose Godino in 17th. Derek Colson in 18th. Albie Hewins in 19th. Albie has faded a little bit since the last pit stop. Looks like Jose Godino played a little strategy on pit road. His pit stop time 20 seconds less. I'm betting he took right sides only on the last stop. Chase Johnson, Alex Krapser up front have a 1.7 second lead right now over Jonathan Bronson, Kendrick Cryer, and Zach Edwards. Chase trying to open up a gap now on Krapser. Jim Johnson really starting to come alive after this second stop. He has made his way up 5 spots into 7th. The biggest mover of the night so far, though, up 7 spots into 3rd, Jonathan Bronson. Bronson missed the last 2 races, looking to make a strong comeback here. Jeff Edgar's got to be happy with the performance so far. Jeremy Gilliard has had a massive problem. Looks like he may have got a speeding penalty under that last stop as he has dropped all the way back to 25th place. The only driver from the Stimulus Racing stable in the field tonight. Chase Johnson starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Alex Krapser, but right behind Jonathan Bronson in third is closing in. About 1.4 seconds back, getting a good push from Kendrick Cryer. Austin Edwards is starting to reel in all the leaders. First time we have seen Austin outside the top 3 all night. Austin really starting to reel him in now. He'll have the lap car of Jeremy Gilliard between him and Colgan. Chase Johnson taking the opportunity to pull away here early as we approach the halfway point of this one. And while they're midway through the run just before the halfway point, let's go ahead and get our full field rundown in here at Phoenix. Brought to you by the family of How to Suck at iRacing channels. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Tomorrow night, tune in. The Nowski Nation returns as their season continues in the Cup cars. Sunday morning, a new season of GT3 NSS begins. If you're interested, let me know. We'll make sure to get you hooked up with their Discord and get you into their series. Up front, Chase Johnson starting to open up a bit of a lead on second place, Alex Krapser. Jonathan Bronson currently rolling in third with Kendrick Cryer right on the bumper in fourth. Zach Edwards having another good run, sits in fifth. The Mad Bear now up 8 spots into 6th place as he marches forward. Jim Johnson, another one starting to make his way forward, currently in 7th. Brent Mekas currently runs in 8th place. I wonder if the Gnome is in the car with him. Stephen Rex currently sits in 9th. Robert Colgan in 10th. Colgan did say tonight is his night. He'd go to victory lane. Can he still get it done? Austin Edwards, the furthest back he has been all night after starting on the pole, currently runs in 11th. Noah Carpenter dropped back after the second round of pit stops after an epic save right before the pit stops. Currently in 12th, trying to make his way forward. Matt Pelletier back for the first time in 2023. Runs in 13th. Joe Campbell currently in 14th, trying to lead the J&S team forward this season. Flying Ryan Seams currently in 15th, battling Kyle Bartles in 16th. Jose Godino playing a little bit of pit strategy, picked up a lot of track position, currently in 17th. Albie Hewins currently runs in 18th. Sean Andrews in 19th, and John Brancaccio up 4 spots into 20th. Daniel Miller had a great run earlier on in the race, but seems to be struggling now in 21st. Gerald Thanos Poole currently in 22nd in the Scarlet Revolt car. John Friley Tandy currently in 23rd. Jeremy Gilliott currently runs in 24th. And Derek Colson, who just completed pit stops, in 25th. Art Hendren in 26th, out of the race. Starting to get cheers for Ryan Soper, but I have to ask, where is Soper? We have not seen him all season. Take it easy there, Gilbert. Alex Krapser trying to make his way back to Chase Johnson, coming through lap traffic. Austin Edwards has pulled back up to Robert Colgan in 10th place. Has not made a move yet. And for our halftime special tonight, we have got Edmund Jones in the booth. Car owner of the 39 and the 51 car. Let's pull him in, see what he has to say tonight. Hey Edmund, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, you got to run a little bit here last night, watching this race so far. Who is the best pick for the win tonight?
You know, I always got to go with any of the EHP cars. You know, Moonlight Speed Concepts. So those guys are always fast. It is hard to go against the GOAT, Austin Edwards, and having his, you know, speaking personally, having his support on setups, it makes it so much easier to go out there and have a comfortable car and have a fast car. And it's just amazing. Those guys, if Austin can save the fuel, him and Matt Bear are going to be there at the end. And, of course, I'm hoping, you know, we don't have the 51 out here tonight, but we got the 39 running the sole Warlord Racing entry. Jim Johnson, hopefully he can be up there. He keeps a mistake-free race. You'll see him.
I definitely will. Been watching Jim up 5 spots already tonight. He's kind of been all season long just quietly sneaking his way up through the field.
Yeah, that's definitely Jim's style. He is not the most flashy guy, not the most talkative. Most guys like him. He'll run you clean, and he's just going to do mistake-free races and be there at the end.
That's definitely going to be the key here tonight. We have seen this thing go green flag so far. Is that what you were expecting to see tonight?
You know, it's so hard to determine when there's going to be cautions. You know, we have some erratic times with the guys up in the booth, but it's one of those. Phoenix is a big, wide racetrack. There's a lot of real estate. You know, no matter where it happens, guys, if they get spun out into the grass, there's no reason for a caution. You know, this is one of those tracks that's going to be very hard to get a caution. Unless it happens on that front straightaway where guys cannot avoid it, you're probably not going to see a caution tonight.
That's definitely true, and I've been really surprised to see not a lot of cars getting as loose out of turn 4 as what we're used to seeing here.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those, from turning laps here, coming out of 4, you have to keep that momentum, and if you're sliding that right rear all the way through 4, it's not fun. It's not conducive to what you want speed-wise or tire wear-wise. And, we're talking 300 laps at a mile-long track. These guys are going to be going for quite a while here. They're going to be staying mostly conservative until, I would say, probably lap 250. Then you might see guys sliding a little bit more coming out of 4, trying to get that run underneath guys. It's one of those, any of these XCAL events, it's a waiting game. And when you pull your trigger, it's going to tell where you land at the end of the day.
So you talked about only having one of your cars out here tonight. You're obviously not racing tonight, but what does the rest of the season look like for your team?
So I am taking a more ownership role. I am stepping out of the driver's seat because, it's one of those, the competition level this year is just so insanely high. I can come up here and I feel, even with the support of Austin and all them, I can be a top 10 car on a weekly basis. Again, if I don't do anything, that shoots myself in the foot. With that being said, I am looking at a couple different guys, a couple younger guys that are going to be a lot faster than me, a lot more up to, say, Austin's caliber, Hendrick's caliber, able to run with Noah Carpenter and the J&S guys. I want to make the 51 as competitive as possible. And with me behind the wheel, it's not going to happen. I'm looking at potentially throwing a former XCAL winner this season, actually. He pulled off the Rockingham win, Mr. Kyle Martin. He should be behind the seat of the 51 at some point this week, or this season. I may be back behind the wheel for certain races, depending on how drivers play out, but I want to make the car as competitive as possible, and unfortunately, that just means I'm not behind the wheel.
Well, I have to say, you put some great drivers out there, and obviously putting McRecken in the car is going to get you a podium finish. We have to step away for a quick break. Can you stick around for a few minutes?
Yeah, not a problem.
All right, we'll be right back, you guys, as the third round of green flag pit stops are underway. We'll be back in just a moment. ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and a surprise as pit stops are underway. We had a surprise in the booth as PDJ Zeller has joined us. PD, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Doug, I'm always wandering around the booth. I'm usually at the track, after being vice president the last 3 years, taking a year off of, kind of being involved in staff stuff, but I still come to the track. I'm actually just coming on and doing a favor for XCAL Racing. I need to give a public service announcement to all of our fans out there in attendance tonight. Don't go to Section 6 of the infield. Jalbert's down there, and he got way more drunk than usual, which is really saying something, and there's a big fire. You just don't want to be near there right now. So please, to all the fans out there, avoid Section 6 of the infield, and enjoy XCAL Racing and the XCAL Racing web shop at www.xcalracing.com/shop.
I have to ask the obvious question here. If Jalbert's down there and getting way drunk, and is Higgins helping?
I couldn't spot him down there, but, usually they're close to each other, so it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. But yeah, Jalbert, we're going to try to apprehend him, but it's going to take quite a few guys. So just, once again, please, fans, avoid Section 6 of the infield.
All right, good piece, a good PSA there from Petey. Avoid Section 6 of the infield. Don't forget to go to the XCAL Racing web shop, and don't forget to check out, there is a new Austin Edwards mug, a new coffee mug you'll want to check out. And, of course, your Flying Ryan Seams gear, all your J&S gear. There is so much stuff. You can find all your favorite drivers, all their gear, all the fun stuff, including Petey, who is obviously out here giving PSAs tonight. Don't forget to check out Sim Racer Hub. You can find all the XCAL Racing statistics for both series there on Sim Racer Hub. Every piece of information you could ever want to know and more. All the historical information as well. Also, check out the XCAL Patreon. It is on the XCAL website. Come join, get exclusive access to a whole bunch of excitement out there. Must be 18 to join, but go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out, and let's raise these purses up for these drivers and owners here. Anything you guys do, whether it be the web shop, Patreon, anything XCAL, helps bring it out a little bit more, gets us a little bit more recognition, brings guys into the seats for this amazing broadcast here on How to Suck at iRacing. Any little bit helps, guys.
Well, it looks like Matt Bear, Austin Edwards, Noah Carpenter staying out. Just about everybody else has completed pit stops, and things are about the second half of the race. Do you expect to see this heat up just a little bit more leading to 250 as guys try and find their way to where they want to be?
I start seeing maybe things get a little bit more heated around 200. With the green flag pit stop cycling in and out here, Doug, it's one of those, these guys are going to be very cautious. Austin and Matt Bear are sitting there trading spots. I bet you anything, knowing both of them, they are trying to work that draft, save fuel, and go just that much further than everyone else. I cannot tell you enough how alien those guys are. The abilities that those guys have, it's insane. I can't do it. And these guys are just, they can save fuel. It's almost like they're driving a Prius out there. Chris Johnson, you might need to put a Prius emblem on the front of Austin's car after this race.
Oh my goodness, we'd have a ton of fun with that one. But I have to ask, you're talking about looking for drivers. Speaking of Matt Bear, have you considered reaching out to Ty Majeski and helping settle that rivalry?
Ooh.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea. I would love to do it. But, man, I am not the man that's going to pay for that. It's one of those, I couldn't do it. I would love to get both of them in a session, do a one-on-one here. Who knows, maybe that's the idea for them. It would be great to see it settled, but there's no telling, man.
I have to say, sitting here watching these two save fuel all night, Noah Carpenter, the only one that has been able to get close to him, and Noah's stuck in a lot of traffic right now, trying to get himself in position when he's ready to go. You know, that could be the killer here tonight, is not having that clean air when you head for pit road.
Well, it is definitely one of those that when those two can get hooked up, it's magical, right? They can sit there, they can run in their tandem draft. They can do exactly what they want. They may not be able to run as fast as the pack, you know, because all of us know pack racing, it's that much better to be in, you know, say 5-6 cars in a line. But Matt and Austin have worked together. They've raced with each other so long that they know how each other's going to go. And for them to be able to sit there and push and push and push, it blows my mind what some of these guys can do when they link up. And with them saving the fuel the way they are, cutting down, honestly, probably a full pit stop at this point, the overcut is going to be so huge that I don't see them, unless something really happens, I don't see them getting into traffic anytime soon, Doug.
That is definitely the case, and that puts Noah Carpenter at a big disadvantage right now. He's almost 11 seconds back, stuck in heavy lap traffic. But the other question I have for you, and I know you've got to go race, but who would you see, say, coming into this season after watching and being out there on track, who has been the most improved driver you've seen in the field?
Most improved? I got to think about that one for a second. You know, I of course I want to go to Jim, but you know, Steven Rex, he's always been one of those guys that if he can put it together, he can get up there. Brent Meckes has been great this season. It's been fun to watch him race, being able to race around him. Even Colgan has done amazing this season, and he's shown a lot of signs of brilliance. I'm just waiting for him to be able to put it all together and put it there at the end. And, you know, it's going to take some luck. You know, any of these guys that are running probably 6th through 15th, it's going to take a great deal of luck to be able to have them get the win because of guys like Austin and Noah Carpenter and Parker Retzlaff. These guys are on just such a high level that we need that luck to come in. You need that right caution. And it's going to come down to one of those guys sometime this season.
Well, man, it has been great having you. Go do some dirt racing, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon. Obviously, we'll be back Monday for Jones BS Racing. I don't have my schedule in front of me. Where is the Legends and Tour Mods at next Monday?
Oh, give me one moment here, and I'll be able to tell you. Next Monday, we are at Lanier for the Legends, and we will be heading back to one of my favorite tracks, Richmond. Richmond for the Tour Mods has always been a great time. It was the very first race we ever did in the Tour Mods, and one of the funnest moments was seeing 4 wide with me, Andrew Thornton, McRecken, and I cannot remember the last guy. It was one of the most short-changing moments, but still just an amazing, amazing time out there. We got a great group of guys and can't wait to see it. But Doug, thank you so much for having me on here. You know, thank you to XCAL. Everybody go check out the web shop. Go check out the website in general. You know, if you want to come out here and race with these guys, you think you have what it takes to take Austin down, put your money where your mouth is, buy the car, come on out here. I'm going to head off to Eldora, where hopefully I'm not going to crash into the end of pit road.
Oh, go away.
No. Hey, I got the clip. YouTube, here we come.
Good luck at Eldora, buddy.
Have a great broadcast, Doug.
See you, buddy. All right, thank you to Edmund Jones for dropping by. As you saw, third round of pit stops has been completed. Don't forget to come back next week. We will be at the Kansas Speedway Roval. That's going to be one heck of an interesting race. XCAL has never been there. In fact, I have never broadcast a race there. I am going to have to go test drive that this weekend. I might even stream my test drive there. Who knows what could happen? Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow us on all those places. We really appreciate all the help, all the growth. Enjoy talking to you guys. We have a lot of features on Facebook. Jonathan Bronson got the wall out of turn 2. Allows Chase Johnson and Kendrick Cryer to pull right back up. We do have a lot of cool features on our Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter, including every Sunday afternoon we have a question for the community called The Way I See It. Come out, give us your opinions on that. And we have started a new thing on Thursday night. We'll be highlighting sponsors from all these different leagues to help them grow and help them continue to support these leagues like the XCAL web shop, helping keep XCAL purses growing. So go check that out. Check out and support all the different sponsors that sponsor all these great leagues. Zach Edwards has started to blink again. Jonathan Bronson back in the lead for the first time tonight. Chase Johnson in second, Kendrick Cryer third, Alex Crapser fourth, Zach Edwards in fifth, Stephen Rex in sixth, Austin Edwards after the stop it dropped back. He is on the way back to the front. Currently running in seventh, Brent Meckes in eighth. Matt Baer currently in ninth, and Jim Johnson rounding out your top 10. Flying Ryan Seams still in 15th, but running down Matt Pelletier. Looks like Flying Ryan has got made some adjustments to that car. He's starting to move forward. Noah Carpenter after pit stops. Looks like he lost a lot of ground after leading quite a few laps back in 16th. He's going to need a little bit of luck to make his way forward. Jose Godino in 17th. Albie Ewens up to 18th now. Sean Andrews currently running in 19th, and John Brancaccio in a new car this week in 20th. Chase Johnson got a little loose off turn 4 there. Kendrick Cryer under him, had to avoid it. Johnson goes to the high side. That was a lap car there. Johnson still in second. Kendrick Cryer still in third. Due to the lap traffic, Alex Crapser back in fourth, starting to gain some ground. Now the leaders are all getting mixed up with the lap cars, and this is where things are going to get interesting. Austin Edwards making his way back up into the top 5 now in 5th, right on Albie Hewen's bumper. Albie currently back in 18th, and it looks like Sean Andrews back in 19th might be blinking. Zach Edwards blinking continues. Because we've seen Zach a couple times this season have problems with blinking. He's had to go to pit road. And oh no! Zach Edwards gets a tap from the 44. Goes up the track. Matt Baer gets underneath him. See if we can take another look at that battle between Zach Edwards and Brent Meckes. Zach just up on the high side. Looked like he may have came down a little bit. Back it up just a little bit here to see if there was previous contact. Of course, with Zach blinking, it makes it hard for the other drivers to predict where he's going to be at any given moment. And it looked like Zach started to come down a little bit. Didn't know Brent had the nose in. Meanwhile, Brent Meckes manages to hold on to it, currently in 7th place, trying to run down Steven Rex in 6th. Austin Edwards has now gotten to the back bumper of Alex Krapser. Kendrick Cryer sits in 3rd, Chase Johnson in 2nd. Jonathan Bronson, though, out front for the first time tonight. He is getting some laps in here. Bronson comes into tonight 11th in points. Just behind Jeremy Gilliott. Could very well, with Gilliott running so far back after the speeding penalty earlier. Jeremy Gilliott currently runs in 21st. Oh, Jim Johnson getting a little loose there out of 2, but with Gilliott so far back and Jonathan Bronson leading, Bronson could move to the top 10 in points tonight. Tyler Gilbert, please stop setting fires in the infield. Chase Johnson has started reeling in Jonathan Bronson again. Cryer now in 3rd, Krapser in 4th, Austin Edwards in 5th. Steven Rex having an awesome night tonight. Currently runs in 6th. Same with Brent Meckes in 7th. Matt Barrett currently in 8th. Zach Edwards has to drop back to 9th. And Jim Johnson in 10th. But the gap from 9th place, Zach Edwards, back to Jim Johnson in 10th is now 7 seconds. Robert Colgan right on Jim's back bumper in 11th, along with Kyle Bartles, Joe Campbell, Matt Pelletier, and Ryan Seams in 15th. Several close calls here tonight, but after 185 laps, we have yet to see a caution. Taking a look again from the XCAL blimp. You see the lead pack coming out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. One mile, mostly flat track with that little kink on the back straightaway and no shortcuts. Blimp giving us some excellent views here tonight. If you want to sponsor the blimp, go check out XCALRacing.com. You can definitely find a bunch of sponsorship opportunities there. I do know there are some new sponsors coming in the next few weeks. You definitely want to get in on it while you can. Closing in on 100 laps to go. And we should be closing in on final pit stops. Doing some quick math, I do not believe that Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, and Noah Carpenter will be able to completely eliminate their final stop. However, they'll all be able to take that final stop extremely late. Take very little fuel, right side tires only, have a very quick stop. This might be the best strategy of the night. We've seen fuel strategies like this pay off all season long. Will Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, or Noah Carpenter be able to make it work? Speaking of Noah Carpenter, he is reeling in the top 15. Ryan Seems just 2 seconds ahead of him in 15th place. Bronson had started this race in 10th and just steadily walked his way up through the field, picking off cars here and there, picking up spots on pit road. As we get late in the run, and as you saw out of Bronson's car through 1 and 2, back end trying to wiggle just a little bit more every lap. Matt Bear sitting back in 8th, right behind Brent Mekas. One of the guys that stopped later than everybody else. Expect that car to come alive and come moving forward here any moment. John Brancaccio will be the first driver on pit road. Oh, Chase Johnson really drifting it through 1 and 2 that time. Using up every bit of the tires here. Zach Edwards back in 9th. Looks like the connection issues have stopped for the moment. Meanwhile, Jim Johnson back in 10th is leading that group a little bit closer to that lead pack. Matt Pelletier trying to make... Oh, he gets past Joe Campbell, but did he push too much out of 2? Joe's got to run. Joe's got the run down into 3, but he can't get the nose in. Colgan still managing to hold off Kyle Bartles for the moment. Jose Godino is now in for his pit stop. Impressive. Godino had the shortest pit stop last time, doing some pit strategy to pick up track position. Hey, good evening, Kevin. How you doing, buddy? We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment as pit stops continue. are back as pit stops are underway. Austin Edwards has reclaimed the lead. Now that Chase Johnson has gone to pit road. Bronson briefly led some more after Johnson went in. Now Brent Meckes is on his way down. Kendrick Cryer now to second. Stephen Rex in third. Zach Edwards in fourth. Matt Bear in fifth place. Don't forget to come back next Tuesday night as we go to the Kansas Roval. What promises to be an exciting and interesting and probably surprising race for everybody. Joe Campbell up into sixth. Joe's on his way in. Noah Carpenter lost a lot of ground on pit road last time. Now he's got an opportunity to make some up. And now we see if Austin Edwards, Noah Carpenter, and Matt Bear's strategy will pay off here. These guys should be able to stretch it to about lap 220, maybe 225. Noah Carpenter again gets stuck up in a lot of traffic here as he tries to run down Matt Bear. He's got a lot of these drivers coming off pit road right in front of him. Joe Campbell now rolling back out. Brent Meckes is still out there as Chase Johnson and Jonathan Bronson both having completed their pit stops. And Austin Edwards back to the lead. Kendrick Cryer is right with him. And what about Stephen Rex, who's been stretching fuel all night as well, currently running in third. Rex definitely looking to have a great finish here tonight if he can keep it going. Stephen Rex, Kendrick Cryer are in. Austin Edwards pulls out front of Zach Edwards. Now Matt Bear up to third. Noah Carpenter is going to come around. He'll take fourth. Carpenter just needs two more good pit stops to fight his way back up here into the top five. Noah Carpenter now holds fourth place. Meanwhile, Austin Edwards 2 1/4 seconds ahead of Matt Bear and Zach Edwards. Noah Carpenter about 11 seconds back from that fight. Phoenix tends to stay green flag for long periods of time, but the moment the chaos breaks out, it gets wild out here. We've been over 200 laps caution free. Matt Bear unable to make up any ground on Austin Edwards so far. Jonathan Bronson currently at the lead of the cars that have been to pit road. Currently scored in 5th. Last 2 stops, Austin Edwards has lost a lot of ground on pit road. Can he make up any this time? Zach Edwards is in. Austin Edwards, Matt Barrett, Noah Carpenter, the last 3 to come to pit road. All the drivers will have 1 more stop to make. Austin trying to use all the clean track he can, get as much speed as he can before pit stops. Definitely not seeing him drifting here right before pit stops like we saw last week at Long Beach. Although that was rather funny and entertaining. Ryan Seams still holding on to 15th. Kyle Bartles in 14th. And Albie Hewins has made his way back up into 16th place. He is starting to make his way forward. Alex Krapser gets a speeding penalty on pit road. He drops back into 17th. A guy who's been up front leading a lot tonight. Could he be out of the fight now? He's going to need a caution to get back up here. Noah Carpenter is in. Expect Austin Edwards and Matt Baer to go 3 to 4 more laps. Matt Baer is losing ground to Edwards at the moment as they prepare to make their penultimate stop. Kendrick Cryer, Jonathan Bronson, Stephen Rex, and Chase Johnson all battling. That's allowing Brent Mekas and Zach Edwards to close back in as well. Oh! Rex gets a little bounce off the wall in turn 4. Chase Johnson able to get a run through 1 and 2, but it also allows Mekas to close back up. Kendrick Cryer now in 3rd. Austin Edwards still up front. Should see him on pit road anytime. And Austin Edwards is hitting pit road the second to last time here. Matt Baer is also in. Now Kendrick Cryer in 3rd has to see if he can get around the track quickly enough to reclaim the lead here. Jonathan Bronson, Chase Johnson, and Stephen Rick still nose to tail. Zach Edwards still right there with him. Zach has gotten by Brent Meckes. Jim Johnson leads that third pack in ninth, with Matt Pelletier on the bumper in 10th. Joe Campbell now in 11th, Kyle Bartles in 12th. Ryan Seams has made his way up to 13th. Robert Colgan sits back in 14th. Noah Carpenter, after pit stop, still back in 15th. Cryer coming through 3 and 4. Matt Bear is on his way off. Austin Edwards is rolling. The leaders are going to come by, but Austin, no, they're not. Austin's going to maintain the lead. Kendrick Cryer in second, closing in. Matt Bear falls back to 7th. And Austin Edwards goes to pit road with the lead and comes off with the lead tonight. Chase Johnson sits in 3rd, Jonathan Bronson in 4th, Stephen Rex in 5th. And now that pit stops are complete, let's get a full field rundown. Brought to you by How to Suck at iRacing. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. You don't want to miss anything. Austin Edwards has led the most laps so far tonight, had the pole, and is looking to try and run away with this one. Kendrick Cryer, though, right on his back bumper in 2nd place. Chase Johnson currently runs in 3rd, Jonathan Bronson in 4th. Stephen Rex currently sits in 5th. Zach Edwards looks like he has got the blinking under control in 6th. Matt Bear comes off pit road this time in 7th place, trying to get back up to Austin. Brent Meckes having an awesome run here tonight, currently in 8th. Jim Johnson leading the second group, currently runs in 9th with Matt Pelletier right on his bumper in 10th. Joe Campbell has made his way up to 11th now with Kyle Bartles in 12th. Flying Ryan Seams currently sits in 13th. Right behind him, Robert Colgan in 14th. Noah Carpenter has had a great strategy, but a couple of bad pit stops has put him back to 15th. Albie Hewins currently running in 16th at the moment with Alex Crapser right there in 17th. Jose Godino played a little strategy earlier on in the race, has got some track position back up to 18th. John Brancaccio currently running in 19th and Derek Colson in 20th. Gerald Thanos Poole currently sitting in 21st. John Friley in 22nd, and after a speeding penalty earlier, Jeremy Gilliott back to 23rd. Sean Andrews on pit road in 24th. Daniel Miller, Art Hendren out of the race. Something has gone tragically wrong with Ryan Seams. Let's see if we can see what the heck happened. It looks like it might have been a connection issue. Not 100% sure. Let's watch. Down the back straightaway, he just completely disappears. It looks like he may have disconnected. Seems may have completely lost connection after starting to make his way toward the top 10. Austin Edwards got off pit road with the lead, but now the entire front of the field is back together again. Kendrick Cryer likely has the best seat in the house, sitting right behind Austin. Let's see what it looks like from the nose of Kendrick's car. Out of turn 4, Kendrick following Austin down the front straightaway. Austin gets a little bit better run off turn 4. They've got lap traffic ahead they will have to deal with. Out of turn number 2, down toward the kink. Kendrick moves really low. You see the kink has a bit of a bump as you go through it. Back down into turn 3, getting as low as possible so you can carry as much momentum off of turn 4 as you can. And back across the start-finish line, Kendrick did that lap, a 31.88. Looks like Ryan Seams may be getting back out on track in a moment, but lost power. And a heartbreak for Ryan Seams. Hopefully he'll be able to get back out, get some points after having such a great run here tonight to end like this. Final pit stops here could decide a lot here tonight. Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, Noah Carpenter, those 3 drivers have managed to stretch longer than anybody. They can stay out longer. They can have a shorter final stop. Will it be enough? Kendrick Cryer staying right in Austin's tire tracks here. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bronson starting to build a little bit of a run on Chase Johnson there for a moment, but had a bobble off turn 4. And what about Steven Rex's run here tonight? He has been in the top 10 all night, been in the top 5 several times. Steven Rex so far this season, 3 top 10 finishes, looking at a 4th, has not had a top 5 yet. Could tonight be the night? Don't forget to check out the XCAL Racing web shop, including you while you're there. Get your Jones BS Racing XCAL t-shirt. Lap traffic coming back into play here as the lead pack comes by Derek Colson. Derek staying up on the high line. Ryan Seams has returned to the track, currently in 23rd. Starting to see some battling up here in the top 10 as we've seen Jonathan Bronson trying to get past Chase Johnson. Matt Bear closing in on Steven Rex, and Brent Mekas, Brent Mekas trying to get around the Mad Bear. Jim Johnson 6.5 seconds back in 9th place. Him and Pelletier are starting to pull away from Joe Campbell. And Albie Hewins has made his way back into the top 15 here. Currently running in 15th, just ahead of Alex Crapser. Well, Jason, be careful driving in all that snow tomorrow. Kendrick Cryer is going to look for the lead on Austin Edwards. Austin the fresh. Oh, Austin loose off 2. Keeps his foot in it and keeps going. Kendrick giving Austin a big push down into turn 1. Tries to force him into turn 1 faster than Austin wants to go. Matt Bear still holding on to 7th right behind Rex. Brent Mekas has had a run on the Mad Bear a couple of times, but hasn't been able to complete a pass. The top 9 single file in, or the top 8 rather, single file in the lead pack. Jim Johnson in 9th with Matt Pelletier in 10th, just over 6 seconds behind that lead pack. And before we get started on our final round of green flag stops, let's take our final commercial break. When we come back, we'll be taking you to the finish. right, welcome back. We're taking you to the finish from here. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night, 7:20 Eastern, as we see XCAL go to the Kansas Roval for the first time ever. That one's going to be a little bit crazy. Could we see McRecken back in the field? Kendrick Cryer currently in second behind Austin Edwards. Zach Edwards in third. The top three all stretch their fuel mileage. Different lengths here. Austin Edwards last stopped on 221. Kendrick Cryer on 208. Here we go. Jim Johnson is on pit road. Matt Pelletier, Roderick Colgan, and Kyle Bartles. McRecken may show up for the Kansas Roval tomorrow night. Austin Edwards navigating through lap traffic, gets by Gerald Thanos Poole. Matt Pelletier, Brent Mackes, Derek Colson have been to pit road. Jonathan Bronson also on pit road. Kyle Bartles, Jim Johnson are in. Chase Johnson is in. Zach Edwards, Kendrick Cryer, and Austin Edwards all nose to tail as they navigate lap traffic here. Stephen Rex not far behind in fourth. Matt Bear now in fifth. Joe Campbell up to sixth. Noah Carpenter in seventh. Noah Carpenter needs a really good final pit stop here. He needs a strategy to play out perfectly after a couple of rough stops. Could still get himself into the top five if this strategy pays off. Just under 50 laps to go. The final round of stops underway. Joe Campbell is in. Alex Crapser is in. Albie Hewins is now on pit road. Now it's a question of when the top six go to pit road. How far can they stretch it and how short can those stops be? The average pit stop tonight has been 55 to 57 seconds. And as we saw Jose Gaudino do earlier tonight, right sides only is 20 seconds faster. Could we see those three drivers that stretch their fuel and have been all night long? Could we see them come in right sides only, a 30-second stop, be back out, and run away with it? The leaders come by. Oh, holy cow, Kendrick! Kendrick has a problem getting into turn 3, opens the door for Zach Edwards. Kendrick on the high side has the momentum advantage, pulls back into second. Steven Rex still up here in 4th. Matt Bear now in 5th. Matt looking on the high side. Noah Carpenter now in 6th. He's about... Oh, Kendrick is in. Rex is in. As I was saying, Noah Carpenter about 18 and a half seconds behind Austin Edwards at the moment. But the more important factor here tonight, for him at least, will be a quick pit stop to pick up all that ground he lost earlier in the race. Noah Carpenter now up to 4th as Zach Edwards should be coming in just about any time. Whereas Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, Noah Carpenter could probably go at least another 10, potentially 15 laps. Zach Edwards continues to stay out here. Austin Edwards starting to pull a little bit of a gap. Jonathan Bronson, Chase Johnson, Steven Rex, and Kendrick Cryer continue to battle it out as well. Steven Rex currently in 6th. How much further can Zach Edwards stretch this? Joe Campbell has now worked his way back up into the top 10. Close calls coming off of pit road. Zach Edwards is in for his final stop. Kendrick Cryer and looks like Steven Rex have had the 2 fastest stops here so far in this final round. They were 10 seconds faster than everybody else. Rex was actually 2 seconds faster, or 1.5 seconds faster than Kendrick Cryer on pit road. So how much faster will Noah Carpenter, Matt Bear, and Austin Edwards stops be? Looking to see how long Zach Edwards' stop is going to be. That'll give us a better indication. Noah Carpenter is in. Austin Edwards, Matt Bear both still the top two, 1.7 seconds apart. Zach Edwards is off pit road after a 42-second stop. Noah Carpenter, for the moment, still scored in third. How long does his stop need to be? Noah Carpenter has a 37-second stop. He's on his way. Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, both likely to have faster than that, stop faster than that. Noah Carpenter comes off pit road, back in the top 10 in 9th place. And trying to run down Brent Meckes in 8th. Now it all comes down to Austin Edwards and Matt Bear's stops here tonight. Matt Bear trying to close back in on Austin to give him a run here at the end. Of note, Jim Johnson has slipped out of the top 10, currently in 13th, but has Kyle Bartles and Matt Pelletier just ahead. Albie Ewens has fought his way back up into 16th place. Jose Gadino has fought his way back up into 17th, and Joe Campbell in 10th. Matt Bear, though, the biggest mover of the night so far, up 12 spots into second. Austin Edwards is in. Matt Bear stays out. Now, how long will Austin Edwards' stop be here tonight? Noah Carpenter did it in 37 seconds. Matt Bear is going to stay out one more time. Matt Bear has the lead for the moment. Austin Edwards still on pit road. Austin is on his way off. 34 seconds. Matt Bear is in. Austin comes out in second, a little over 9 seconds ahead of Zach Edwards. Now the question is, can Matt Bear get off pit road faster and claim the lead here? Austin Edwards is stuck in a lot of lap traffic at the moment. Austin trying to get some clear track in front of him. Matt Bear is away as Austin is coming down the front stretch. And Austin Edwards will reclaim the lead. Matt Bear will hold on to second place. Biggest winner, though, in this strategy, Noah Carpenter, picking up a bunch of spots on pit road. Noah currently runs in 9th place and is gaining on Brent Meckes. Meanwhile, Austin Edwards out front by just over 2 seconds. Or just under 2 seconds, rather. But Matt Bear is gaining on him as Austin is stuck in lap traffic. Zach Edwards in 3rd, 5.5 seconds behind the leader. Kendrick Cryer in 4th, another 4.5 seconds back. Stephen Rex right behind him in 5th. Chase Johnson 6th, Jonathan Bronson 7th, Brent Meckes 8th, Noah Carpenter in 9th, Joe Campbell now up in 10th. Looked like there was a car stopped on the bottom of the front stretch as Austin Edwards clears. All the lap traffic and continues to lead. Austin 1.5 second lead on the Mad Bear at the moment. Stephen Rex looking for his first top 5 of the season. Currently runs in 5th. If Matt Bear can get through the lap traffic quicker than Austin Edwards did, he might have a shot at this. Just a reminder, per XCAL rules, after 10 laps to go, if a caution comes out, there will be no waiver rounds. And at 5 laps to go, there will be no cautions. It'll be green, green, green to the finish. Matt Bear is closing in on Austin Edwards. He has gotten through the traffic a lot quicker. Matt Pelletier, in his first start in 23, currently running in 11th, moves over. How hard is he going to fight Matt here? Matt has chopped that lead down to 1.25 seconds. Is Austin in fuel-saving mode? Let's take a look. Through turns 3 and 4, he is not saving anything through there. Down toward turn 1, is he saving anything here? No, he is not. It appears that Matt Bear here at the end of the race may have the faster car, but does he have the time? Zach Edwards fairly secure in 3rd, Kendrick Cryer in 4th, and how about Stephen Ricks looking for a top 5 here tonight? John Brancaccio is headed to pit road. Ryan Seams is headed to pit road. Chase Johnson in 6th, Jonathan Bronson in 7th, Brent Meckes 8th, Noah Carpenter in 9th. Noah was gaining on that pack, but seems to have lost a little momentum here. Joe Campbell currently in 10th, using the draft off Alex Crapser, trying to reel in Noah Carpenter. Matt Barrett now has Austin in his sights. Zach Edwards' comeback from earlier tonight, having a bunch of problems, including the connection issues, to come back and run in 3rd has been a great, great night. Stephen Rex now up into 4th, has gotten past Kendrick Cryer. Cryer still trying to fight back. But Stephen Rex, what a night, buddy. Stephen Rex has won the Dash Series on Monday night 2 times this season, looking to get it done, get a top 5 in the Big Web Shop Series. Austin Edwards is gonna lead him around. Next time by, there will be no more wave rounds. Out of turn 4, he will have 10 laps to go. Hey Becky, how are you guys doing? Matt Bear in 2nd place, now 1.4 seconds back, has not been able to gain any more ground on the leader. Stephen Rex still able to hold off Kendrick Cryer for the moment. Chase Johnson and Jonathan Bronson having it out here. That's the battle for 6th. Brent Meckes is lurking here as well. Sixth, 7th, and 8th, nose to tail. Bronson was all over Johnson's bumper last time by as he back. He is just trying to get him loose here. Austin Edwards starting now to pull away just a little bit from Matt Bear. Zach Edwards in 3rd, just has to cruise it home from here. Austin Edwards coming to get 6 laps to go. Next time by, Aaron Hillebush will tell the drivers, green, green, green. There will be no cautions. If they make it 2-5 to go, we'll have a third time ever, a caution-free race. And here we go. Aaron tells them, green, green, green. Will be no more cautions tonight. They will go green to checkers at Phoenix. Matt Bear currently in second behind Austin Edwards. Zach Edwards in third. Stephen Rex still has fourth, holding off Kendrick Cryer in fifth. Chase Johnson in sixth. Bronson in seventh. Brent Meckes in eighth. Noah Carpenter back in ninth, and Joe Campbell in 10th. Matt Pelletier back for the first time this season, currently runs in 11th. Jim Johnson in 12th. Austin Edwards closing in on some lap traffic of Alex Crapser and Joe Campbell. 3 laps to go. The lap traffic probably going to come into play. That could be the only shot Matt Bear has if Austin gets up here to this lap traffic. It'll be popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for Austin Edwards. Austin had the pole tonight, led the most laps, is going to get a ton of bonus points and extend his points lead here tonight. Could we be looking at Austin Edwards run to a second championship? White flag is in the air. Matt Bear has made a valiant effort to try and stay up here, has given Austin a run for his money every step of the way. But it will not be enough as Austin Edwards comes out at turn 4. He is going to win at Phoenix. The Mad Bear comes home in second. Zach Edwards comes home third. Kendrick Cryer gets past Stephen Rex on the last lap. Cryer comes home 4th. Rex comes home in 5th. Stephen Rex best finish of the season here tonight. Jonathan Bronson, Chase Johnson, Brent Meckes, Noah Carpenter, and Joe Campbell round out your top 10. And what a night of racing. A green to checkered race. No cautions here tonight. Austin getting his drift celebration started. All right. While he celebrates, let's start talking to our top 3, starting with 3rd place, Zach Edwards. Zach, that was one heck of a run tonight, especially as far back as you drifted earlier in this race.
Yeah, we didn't fire off very good. We were really, really good through the middle of the run there, but I don't know. I feel like we had a 3rd place car at the end of the day, so happy with that.
Man, you definitely got it done. You got up there, you led a couple of laps tonight as well, picking up some massive bonus points and a great night of racing overall, and another green to checkered race in XCAL.
Yeah, I mean, these things go green to checkered. It really shows who had the best setup. But yeah, us at JNS, we all had good cars. A couple of us had some misfortunes, but I just got to thank everybody at JNS, GP Land, Flaming Karma Paint Shop, you guys, and yeah, we're happy with the third here.
Well, man, congratulations. Definitely going to move up the points tonight. Great job, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate it.
All right, Matt Bear comes home in second. Matt, a valiant second place effort. That was one heck of a run, and you might have been the only person on track to challenge Austin tonight. Matt, you with me?
Yeah, I got you now, brother. Sorry.
I was saying, you might have been the only person that had something for Austin here tonight. That was one heck of a run.
Yeah, man, I shot myself in the pits right there at the end. Overran my pit stall and took probably about a half gallon too much fuel. That would have definitely put me out in front and gone from Austin. I think we had the car to compete tonight. It ran really good in the draft, and being able to save all that fuel and be on the same strategy as Austin, that's as good as you can get out here. So, but just want to thank everybody at the XCAL web shop for putting the race on. Got Butt Kicker back on. You for doing every race for us and putting in the hard work along with us on these long nights. But it was a good night overall. Good points night for the 3 car. So hopefully we can go to the road course next week and pop off another top 5 and keep moving our way up through the standings and try to have something for these boys here in a little bit.
I know you love the road courses, but next week is going to be a different animal. How are you feeling about your shot there?
To be honest with you, I haven't really done too much testing. I know in the off season I ran a little bit out there. Totally different than Long Beach, though. Super wide. You've got a bunch of runoffs, so I expect there to be as much contact as there was last week. I expect there to be even more contact when cars are near each other next week, because they're not going to be worried about going off the wall and destroying their cars. So it might be a little bit more heated of racing next week at the Roval.
Well, man, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. Congratulations, Matt. That was an awesome night, buddy.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
And finally, our winner, Austin Edwards. Austin, you got the pole, led the most laps. Is there anything else you needed to accomplish tonight?
You know, Doug, it would have been a little more fun if I had Matt on my bumper shoving me around, but no, it was a really, really good night. I guess we had a lot of momentum coming in from Long Beach. We carried it into tonight, but you know, really helpful when you got a little less competition out in the field. There were some fast guys tonight that either had some bad luck or just missed out on the setup, or even like Parker not showing up and all that. So a lot of things worked out in our favor tonight, but we ran basically the most perfect race I can imagine, and it paid off.
Were you nervous at all at one point? I think it was after your third pit stop. You were stuck way back about 12th place, right behind a lot of cars, and it looked a little bit sketchy back there.
Yeah, you know, Doug, it was a strange situation. Obviously, Noah and I are, I want to say, 2 of the, hopefully the best fuel savers in this league, and me and him were trying to see who could go the distance, and we were saving a lot of fuel on that run, and lost a little bit of time because of it, but luckily I had to speed in the car on fresh tires. I could get back up to the pack after about 10-15 laps to grab the draft, and fortunately Noah didn't, so that ended the battle with me and Noah there pretty much until a caution came out, which it didn't, so it was rough getting back up there. You know, Phoenix is really draft dependent, but Kendrick built us one hell of a race car tonight. So
I have to say, you're back in the points lead. Obviously, another win, a big points night. Are we looking at your second consecutive title run here?
You know, Doug, I wasn't so sure a few weeks ago, but I'm thinking it's very possible now. You know, with the 0-0 in second, not getting any points, and the gap I had to the rest of the field, it's we're going to have a very, very solid lead going into the road course here. So I'm really excited to see if we can stretch that and maybe have some fun the rest of the season.
Predictions for the road course next week?
It's hard to say, Doug. I have not turned a single lap around that place, but obviously we had a really good car at Long Beach. Street circuit's a little bit more my thing rather than the open road courses, so I'm going to see if I can keep the speed going there at Kansas, but it should be a good time. Obviously going to be a real long race just like it was at Long Beach, but I'm looking forward to it. We're just going to stay consistent, keep it clean, and keep it a one piece because I'm running out of backup cars.
I do have to ask, when we go to the road course next week, if you get another big lead, will we see the lap before you go to pit road some more drifting?
Doug, I really can't predict that. It's kind of how confident I feel that day. And obviously at Long Beach, I was kind of falling asleep, so I had to give you guys some entertainment. So it's always hard to say with me. I like to be unpredictable. You'll just have to wait and see.
Well, man, congratulations. Awesome win. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Well, as always, a big thank you to PD at Moonlight Speed Concepts. Let me drive this number 18 this season. Obviously, my teammate Kendrick, he was a set builder this week. I tried my best and couldn't figure it out, and he built us a car that just stomped the whole field. So a big thank you to him. Big thank you to everybody at XCAL here putting on this show. Thank you to you guys putting on this broadcast, and excited for next week.
All right, buddy. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you, Doug.
Austin Edwards gets the win, extends his points lead, and looks toward next week for even more excitement. Next week we are at the Kansas Roval. Most of these drivers have never seen it, have never been there. We've never broadcast a race at the Roval there. This is going to be an interesting night of racing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you had as much fun as we did. Now that the broadcast is over, run to the XCAL web shop, buy the gear for your favorite driver, and make sure you help support XCAL and all of these drivers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.